if the temperature is high, then this thing together is a larger term when we compare to the delta H. But in the low temperature limit, the change in entropy doesn't carry any weight, because if this is 0, then you're only looking at the delta H. So in a simple word is to say, the entropy change for a given system is more important for a higher temperature situation as opposed to the lower temperature situation where you just consider delta H. Essentially to say, this is low temperature dominating, and this term is high temperature dominating. Yes. We also mentioned briefly at the end of the class that thermodynamics can predict whether a reaction is allowed to occur, but it does not tell you whether a reaction will occur instantaneously. And that has been a misconcept for a lot of people when they are thinking about reaction, and they just calculate the delta G. If they see a very negative delta G, then they just think the reaction will just occur. It may not necessarily be. As we said last time, and also with demos, we showed that even though the delta G is very negative, it just says the system may prefer this reaction to happen at some time, but it never tells you when the reaction will happen. Like when we mix the oxygen and hydrogen in the balloon, it's a very dramatic reaction, but if you don't set off the reaction, just never automatically set off for the reaction. And that is determined by chemical kinetics, which, as I mentioned, you actually will be learning in Chem 4B, so it's a separate topic. Never confuse between the thermodynamics and the chemical kinetics. Those are entirely different things, actually. All right, we said let's continue our discussion of further details of the standard of the Gibbs free energy and look at the G actually under different states. So last time we didn't go into too much detail. We just say G equals to the H minus Ts, and delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S for constant temperature. But for now, we emphasize a little bit about the particular state for the reactant and the product. In this case, if all the reactant and all the product are at 1 atm, the standard reference state of pressure, then we write the standard state delta G to be the delta G with a circle, and at the same time that will be essentially equal to the delta H with a circle minus T delta S with a circle, essentially to say everything on the standard state, we define such a thing. And when we look at tables, it's actually because we immediately look up numbers of the H with a circle under standard state and also entropy under a standard state. We first calculate a number that is for everything is under the standard state. But let's look at one particular example to see how it actually may or may not work for a given situation. So in this case, we are looking at a reaction of the NO2 type of molecule. So this is a molecule that is brown in color, as in this particular molecule form. But it actually can go through a reaction to become an N2O4 molecule. So two molecules of this essentially combine with each other to form a single molecule. And this is brown, this is colorless. So based on the color, you might be able to tell which particular form of the molecule the molecules are in a given system. So now we can look up the H and S for those things, looking up in the table under the standard state. If we do that, we find that the NO2 have this particular formation, molecular formation enthalpy, 33.1 kilojoule per mole, and the entropy of 240 joule per Kelvin per mole. We can also look up the N2O4, and based on this, we can do a quick calculation to know that we need to essentially double these numbers, because this is 2, this is 1. And we can write out for the entire reaction, the change in enthalpy, delta H on the standard state is negative 57 kilojoule per mole. Delta S under the standard state is negative 175.7 joule per Kelvin per mole. So now let's assume that the delta H and the delta S depends little on temperature. So I mentioned this last time briefly, but let's talk about this a bit more. That is to say, we do know the entropy, at least for a given system, will always be increasing as the temperature goes up, because by definition, if the system takes in heat, then if you do the integration, it's always going up in terms of entropy. However, because you are looking at a reaction that you have both the reactant and the product, then both the reactant and product actually will be going in increasing for the entropy. And in a lot of cases, the change in entropy between the starting and ending state does not change too much as a function of temperature. So that is the basis of a lot of discussion today, is to say, for those cases, for simplicity, we assume those two terms does not change too much as a function of temperature. So if that's the case, then we can relatively easily calculate the delta G under the standard state of this particular reaction for different temperatures. And we find at 0 temperature, 0 Celsius to 73 Kelvin, we just plug in those numbers in there, we have a negative 9 kilojoule per mole of the delta G on the standard state at 0 Celsius. On the other hand, at 100 Celsius, we see the value actually change sign because, as we mentioned previously, the entropy plays a more significant role under higher temperature, and in this case, entropy is decreasing, the delta H is also negative, and because of that, at a higher temperature, it actually appeared a higher value, which is 8.44 kilojoule per mole. Now it's actually positive. So based on this discussion, we would predict that for the first case at 0 Celsius, the reaction would go towards the right side. So we should form the colorless form of the system of N2O4. But for the 100 degree of temperature, then the delta G will be positive, so the reverse is actually spontaneous. So we should see mostly generating the NO2 type of species. So with that, we actually do have the demo in here. So you can have the projector, the video here. So we actually have those two containers that are actually filled with NO2 gas. So this is as you see, it does have a brown color right now. And we have two large beakers in here. One of them is with ice, so it's 0 degree. The other is a bit higher, but it's not yet 100 C. So this is at 55 degree. The first one is also not 0, so I guess we to swirl it a little bit. But what we do now is then we push those two bulbs of the gas in there, and let's see if we do see a color change. Okay, so this is now under the ice water. So the temperature is decreasing in there. And in this side we have warm water. It's not that hot, but it's a bit hotter than the room temperature at least. Well, so what we see is that indeed there is a color change. Can actually go back to the yeah. So we actually do see a notable color difference. So in the first case, because it's 0 temperature, as the prediction goes is to say the reaction should go toward the right. So essentially the gas will tend to form the colorless form of N2O4 that essentially gives you a pale color because most of the reaction will go toward that direction. In the opposite direction, we are going to a higher temperature, and based on this prediction, it will generate more of the NO2 form of the gases, and because of that, the color does go darker. So you do see a very different, essentially color. That one is paler, the other is essentially a stronger brown color. But at the same time, we also notice, can we actually go back to the slides? All right, thanks. We also actually find out the reaction seems to be incomplete, meaning that in the case that we put the thing into the ice, at least, in that case, it does become paler, but it's not entirely transparent, it's not entirely colorless. That means that actually, even at the end of the reaction, there's still a significant fraction of NO2 form of the gas in your system. And this is actually related to the concept of equilibrium, meaning that if you calculated a particular number that is negative under the standard state, there might be an equilibrium that can be established where the different species are actually not at the standard state, but they are actually at a different state. This actually can be explained by thinking about what is the difference of the Gibbs free energy for the standard state versus any state. For that, let's consider a particular reaction that are for ideal gases that are A, B, C, D, just a generic reaction. That we have A moles of A react with B moles of B to produce C moles of C and D moles of D. So if we think about everything is under the standard state, if the P is equal to the reference state, that is essentially 1 ATM based on this textbook, there are different reference states possible, but let's say it's 1 ATM. And then in this case, then we say the delta G under the standard state is the delta H on the standard state minus T delta S at the standard state. But now let's consider something that is different, that the reactant and the product may actually not be exactly at 1 ATM for everything, the partial pressure actually, but instead they may have a particular partial pressure that is PA, PB, PC of PB, and we want to figure out under those particular arrangement of partial pressures, what is the actual delta G for the reaction based on this definition that is still holds true, that is delta H minus T delta S, but now things are not under the standard state. To calculate that, we just need to figure out what is difference for one species, and we can generalize it to all the 4 species involved in this particular reaction. So now for any species, either a product or a reactant, we can go through the following discussion. Let's first figure out, because this is a delta H minus T delta S, let's figure out how much H difference there is between a standard state and a non-standard state of a particular species. By definition, H is equal to the internal energy U plus PV, and for an ideal gas system, it can be written as U plus nRT. So now we know for an ideal gas system, the internal energy is only a function of temperature. This is also only a function of a temperature. And because of that, this entire term is only a function of temperature. It only depends on temperature, so that means that it doesn't depend on the actual partial pressure of the gas. Essentially, this is to say the enthalpy of a given gas system under any pressure is equal to the enthalpy of the same gas under the reference state. It doesn't matter what the pressure is, it will always give you the same number. So essentially to say we don't need to care if there's no difference for the enthalpy, no matter what particular partial pressure you are looking at for the system. For the entropy, however, this is actually a different situation. We actually will need to calculate what is the difference between the particular given pressure and the reference state pressure. We just write it as that delta, meaning this is the difference between this and this for the entropy. And we want to do it through calculating the reversible heat in the process over temperature. So the integration, this is the difference again between the actual entropy and the entropy under the standard state.